Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well. As you can see, my hair has gotten significantly longer. I really need a haircut. But I have been away for a bit now, and that's because I was doing an experiment where I locked myself away in my room with no input for 3 whole days. That means no phone, no laptop, no internet, no talking to anyone. I was just by myself in my room with my only source of entertainment coming from the few meals that I got to eat. Again, all by myself. Now, the only thing I had in my room is I had pen and I had a journal, and I had 3 questions which I'll be getting to in just a bit. Because first, I want to tell you the main reason why I started this experiment, and that is the dopamine detox. Because essentially, I really wanted to start enjoying life a little bit more, and I've been hearing about locking yourself away with a dopamine detox for a while now. Some people talk about 1 day, some people talk about 7 days, so I thought 3 days was a good amount of time to spend just by myself. It's a good amount of time because it allowed me to get really, really bored, which is essentially the reason you're doing this. And it's not so long where you're not actually missing out on anything particularly big. You're also not super unproductive because missing 3 days really isn't that big of a deal, but missing 7 might be. And so, what are the reasons I wanted to do this? What did I do in there? And what did I get out of it? And more importantly, should you consider locking yourself away in your room? Because I don't know if you actually came into this video thinking I'm going to challenge you, but in the end, I'm going to challenge you to lock yourself away in your room for 3 whole days to see what you can come up with. So the reason behind all of this, again, is that dopamine detox, but also to gain clarity in my life. Because setting this experiment up, I realized that there was a really, really good little tangent, little other thing that I can do during this time to really capitalize on those 3 days, and that is to give myself a journal with 3 questions to answer. The first one being, who am I? Really outlining who you are and kind of where you are in life. The second one is what you want to do in life. You know, the job that you want, the place you want to live, how much you want to be making, all of these things that you want out of life. And then the third thing is who you want to spend your life with. You know, who's your life partner? Who do you want as friends? And then the fourth and the most important question that you want to be asking is, you kind of want to go back to the first question and you want to ask yourself again, who am I? But instead of who am I, you want to ask yourself, who do I need to become in order to get this life that I wanted? Who do I need to become to attract the friends, the relationships, the business partners, the whoever that you want in your life? Who are the people that they would want to be friends with, that they would want to be in a business relationship with, that they would want to be in a relationship with? And how can I actually obtain the life that I want? And by doing this, you're really going to gain some clarity if you don't have that already, because I was pretty lost. To be honest, I'm still a little bit lost, but I'm significantly better off. And this clarity, combined with the benefits of the dopamine detox, which I'll get into in just a second, just turbo boosted my time so much. Dopamine detoxes are important because we are addicted to input. We are addicted to essentially not allowing ourselves to actually process what's going on, because processing things is, frankly, difficult to do. And because the brain wants to conserve as much energy as possible, it really wants to do the least difficult thing. And that least difficult thing usually is getting more input, because that means you don't actually have to formulate anything. You just kind of have to process what's coming in. And that input comes in many, many different ways. It comes from texts, it comes from Instagram, it comes from Facebook, it comes from YouTube, it comes from Netflix, it comes from talking to people, it comes from basically everything other than you sitting by yourself with nothing but your thoughts, or in this case, nothing but your thoughts and a journal. And by taking all of this input away, what you're essentially doing is you're resetting your brain into thinking that things that you originally thought weren't all that exciting to be exciting. Because when you come out of it, trust me, you like even turn your phone on, you're like, oh, that's a phone. That's so cool. Or, you walk around the forest with nothing and you're like, oh my God, this is beautiful. You start to appreciate things so much more that you didn't before. And I think that's a huge, huge quality of life change. Because now you're able to do those difficult tasks. Now you're able to do the things that you previously didn't want to do because it was so much easier just to watch Netflix. Now that your brain isn't like, oh, well, let's just go watch Netflix, you can do those harder things and you can actually move yourself forward. And that is where that journaling really, really comes in handy, because you're gaining essentially your willpower back using the 3-day fast, and then you're gaining clarity by answering those questions. And I'm going to go through the questions again in just a little bit just to kind of clarify on a few points. But by answering those questions, and by answering specifically the last question, you're able to then figure out a very, very clear direction on where you want your life to go. And so just to reiterate those 3 questions, they are: who am I? What kind of a person am I? What are my morals? What are some of the things that I want to get done? What am I willing to die for? Like, it's the hard questions. And one question in particular that I really found to be enlightening is, what am I afraid of? What are my biggest fears? I'm not talking about phobias. I'm not talking about spiders, though you can write down spiders. I'm talking about, am I afraid of failure? Am I afraid of confrontation? What are my biggest fears? And ask yourself, why are they my biggest fears? And I found that just by asking why again and again and again, I actually managed to get a lot of my initial fears almost not completely dealt with, but significantly dampened down, because I realized that a lot of my fears came from completely irrational sources. And by realizing that my fears came from irrational sources, I was able to kind of let go of a lot of them. The second question is, what kind of a life do I want to live? Now, this one I find really important because people don't dream enough. Now, there's a circle of people that do dream a whole lot, but I find that even myself, I need to dream a little bit bigger. I need to aim a little bit higher. And therefore, I really want you to outline, like, what kind of a house do you want to live? What kind of an annual salary do you want? What kind of a job do you want to do? What kind of vacations do you want to take? And really outline the life that you want to be living. How many vacations do you want a year? Because by actually outlining what you want in a very specific way, you actually realize that it's not as difficult to actually obtain it as you previously thought. And that leaves me to the third thing. Based on the life that you want to live, who are the people that you actually want to spend time with? Because what you're doing, unless you don't want to spend time with anyone, you basically are spending time with people. Who are these people? Are they entrepreneurs? Are they artists? Are they people you have a very deep connection with? Do you know everyone on planet Earth? What kind of people are you spending time with? And then comes the most difficult part in asking yourself, who do I have to become to actually have that life? Based on where I am now, where I want to be, who do I have to be in order to ensure that my life goes the way I want it to go? Okay, guys, that's not easy. This exercise is not easy, but I challenge you. Now is the best time. Right now is the best time. Or honestly, whenever you're watching this, if you're not 100% sure where you want to be, I strongly suggest you do this. I left the questions down in the description below just in case you need a little refresher, but I really strongly challenge you to do this, because at the end of it, you're going to come out of that room and you're going to be ready. You're going to be set and you're going to go and you're going to be so productive, or so much more productive than you already were. And more importantly, you're gonna enjoy life more. As I said, I took a walk with nothing. I didn't even take my phone. I forgot my phone at home, and I enjoyed that so much more than all the other walks that I have done in the last year, because I was able to really appreciate the trees for the trees. And that sounds really silly, but really taking a look at the world around you, it's actually quite a nice place. If you've made it this far, definitely hit that subscribe button, because I'm gonna say this here, I'm gonna have new videos coming out every Tuesdays and Thursdays, and you can keep me accountable to that. So thank you so much for watching. Once again, please consider hitting that subscribe button, and I will see you next time.